Hello,
Hello.
hello,
Hi.
hello. We're excited to
Well,
have everyone again tonight.
yes.
Mhm.
Welcome, everyone.
You're getting a big dose of guests coming up. It's going to be great. But
Today we have Bun. Hello, Bun.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself to our pals?
Hi, I'm Bun, aka as a lot of people know me as Unused Notebook. That's unused.notebook on Instagram and TikTok, and then just straight across on Twitter, and then Sayuri Unused on Twitch.
awesome. If you could tell everyone a little bit about what you do, where you're at on the internet.
So I am a cosplayer. I also do some Patreon stuff. It's like boudoir content for the most part. I do Twitch streaming several times a week. A lot of Stardew Valley right now for the most part.
Mhm.
And I run a maid cafe.
Awesome.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna ask Bun a bunch of questions tonight about her and about Maid Cafe and everything. So first one is, where did the name Unused Notebook come from?
So this one I've answered on my frequently asked questions sticker on Instagram because I get that one a lot. And
Sure.
what happened was in high school I was making a Twitter account. And I handed my phone to a friend of mine who I was sitting next to in class and said, "Hey, pick a username for me. I don't friggin' know." And he put something extremely offensive and then pressed enter. And I had to come up with something fast. And I saw a notebook in front of me that I had not used. So I was like, okay, unused notebook. And I just stuck with that.
That's such a
Forever.
long time to keep the same username too.
I think
It's-
that's the best
yeah.
username backstory I've ever heard.
Mhm.
It was bad. The username he put was so bad.
What a spontaneous username to still be using now and have such
I
a
love
following
it.
on.
Yeah, my cosplay account was originally my spam account because I didn't get really into cosplay or anything until after high school.
Gotcha.
Quick question. Can you tell us who you're cosplayed as? I know who you're cosplayed as. Oh boy, I'm frozen.
Yeah,
But keep going.
That's okay. You'll unfreeze. There you are.
Right now,
Anyway.
I'm bouncing. Right now, I'm cosplaying as Penny from Stardew Valley because I am a big old simp.
She is
That's
the
fair.
best.
I am on the path to marry her as we speak. So
Like
Nice.
as we speak, you were playing like 20 minutes ago.
yeah, I was actually streaming Stardew not too long ago, and I'll be streaming it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
yes,
feel that.
everyone
The
watch
difference
tomorrow.
is tomorrow I am starting a weekly series with some friends of mine where every Friday night we will stream a multiplayer game of Stardew Valley on the Four Corners farm map. And I think that's going to be really neat.
I love that.
Yeah, so everyone make sure you pop in for that tomorrow. What time is it tomorrow?
That is going to be at 7:30 CST.
Okay.
I've actually been kind of looking forward to that because I also love Stardew Valley and I've seen you posting about it. I'm like, this looks really fun. I want to watch this.
It honestly took me so long to get into it because originally I had it on PC. And I don't know, there's just something like the difference in the controls, I guess, where I didn't really get into it. But then as soon as I got it on Switch, I just started binging it nonstop.
I totally get that. I've had it on PS4, Switch, and now my laptop, and I've just played like an incredible amount of hours on all of them.
Question:
Yeah,
what's different on Switch? I've only played it on PC.
I mean, the game itself is the same, and the gameplay and the story and everything is the same. I think it's just the controls
Preference.
of using a Switch controller versus using the mouse and keyboard. It's easier for me, I guess.
Makes sense.
Totally
Because
makes
when I
sense.
first started streaming, there was some Stardew Valley streams, and there was a number of times where I accidentally exited out of the game instead of the calendar or whatever. And it was so bad, and it was so frustrating, and I just could not get into it because I kept messing up like that.
Huh. Okay, makes sense.
Understandable. How long have you been streaming for on Twitch? Can you tell us a little bit about your channel?
So I just started streaming last year.
Oh, wow.
Originally, I only had my laptop, which I've had since sophomore year of high school. She old. She was
Ooh.
not able to handle streaming. I tried, and
The
my
old gal.
entire computer would immediately crash. But then last year, around the time the pandemic started, a friend of my roommate said, "Hey, I've been building computers for fun, like gaming computers, and I could sell you one for cheap." I was like,
Ooh.
"Give it to me." So I got it and pretty much immediately started streaming. Like, my old apartment was not a great place to be streaming. It was always very loud. Everybody was always doing something. I didn't really have like a designated spot where I could go, and the internet wasn't great.
Mm.
But since I moved to my own place with my boyfriend, it's a lot quieter, and I'm hooked up to the Ethernet, and it's just 10 out of 10. I can actually stream now.
Nice.
Yes.
Exciting. Why did you start streaming? What inspired you?
Honestly, it was one of those things where, like, I put like a question sticker on my Instagram story. I was like, "Hey, there's a lot of you here now for some reason. What do you guys want to see from me?" And a lot of what I was hearing was, Twitch streaming. I don't think I'm the most interesting to watch play video games, but apparently they think otherwise.
Oh, you
I think
definitely
you're
are.
pretty neat.
Yeah, you're so outgoing, and I love when you stream games with a lot of text. You read them in character, and I love that.
Yeah, because I know not everybody can keep up with the text, especially when there's delays and stuff.
Mhm.
And I can sort of do voices. So I was like, I might as well read this for everybody, make things more interesting. So I'm just not sitting here like,
Yeah, no one wants that, anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, they'll just play it at that point.
So aside from, the struggles of getting a computer that could do it and a space that you could do it in, what was it like when you first started out? Like, you're already at a following on Instagram, so how did
Yeah.
that go?
well, I mean, it like the following didn't immediately transfer over or anything.
Mhm.
As you've seen, I have like 12K on Instagram now and maybe 400 on Twitch last I looked.
Right.
So, it's kind of like building another following from scratch.
Mhm.
But, it did help that I have like really great followers who are immediately like, "Oh my God, yes, I'm going to come watch on my way right now. Hurry up and get affiliate."
I
Mhm,
love that. So supportive.
mhm.
Like, all my friends and followers were like really great about being supportive with that kind of thing. And I try to like do the same with like Kind. Like, once my friends start streaming, I immediately have them on like my hosted channels. So if somebody floats by and I'm not online, they can see my friend.
Mhm.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you're everywhere. It's great. You're always in our stream too, and we always appreciate it.
I
Mhm.
try. I've got
Mhm.
so much stuff to do all the time, but I can at least lurk.
No.
I feel that.
All right, so we know you like Stardew. What games do you prefer to play normally?
Well, my first ever game when I got into video games was actually Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So these
Yes.
Zelda games will always have a special place in my heart.
Mhm.
I think the most played game on my Switch is Breath of the Wild. And
Mhm.
prior to that, I also had it on Wii U because it was like a really amazing birthday gift that I got
Mhm.
was a Wii U and Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it was something else. And then, yeah, a lot of Stardew, a lot of Sims, like a lot of Sims. I have actively been playing The Sims a concerning amount since high school.
Mhm.
And then I like to do, multiplayer party games that my followers can join in on, like Among Us, Jackbox. I was considering doing like a Cards Against Humanity one. I don't know how that would go, but
That sounds scary.
Chaos.
interesting.
Yeah.
With we're actually talking about doing a Dungeons and Dragons stream, but it's
Nice.
Cards Against Humanity D&D, where say like I'm a wild magic user, so normally I roll for some sort of side effect.
Mhm.
I would draw a card for a side effect, and it'll be
So
awful.
I'm
That
so
sounds
into
scary.
this. I
Yes.
I also
Oh
love
god.
D&D. I'm now officially in 4 games.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Nina's
Get me in.
everywhere.
I need to play more D&D.
Oh
Cards
god.
Against Humanity
Oh
and
no.
D&D. Okay, I need to compose
Yeah, you have to
myself.
recover.
Okay, so aside from Twitch, you also have a Patreon. I've considered starting one, and I'm kind of curious into what exactly goes into it. What made you decide to take the leap, and how often you have to update content, all that kind of stuff.
The way my Patreon works is it is 18 plus, so I do some boudoir content.
Mhm.
On like the lower tiers, there's like a tip jar, and there's like just like an invite to the Discord or contributing ideas for like what games to stream and stuff. And then as you get towards the higher tiers, you start seeing like the actual boudoir content. There's
Mhm.
prints, there's Polaroids. I used to do a photo book. I'm not sure if I'm gonna bring that one back or not because it's a lot of work.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
honestly, it was just kind of by chance because I like doing cosplay a lot, and then I had people who were asking me like, "Hey, how you doing? You doing like some Patreon?" Nah, but that's a good idea though. And
Yeah.
then I had for a while I didn't really do much with my Patreon because I wasn't really shooting that kind of content. But then I met my favorite photographer at Tommy Del Riot _ on Instagram, and he started helping me shoot like all of my boudoir content. And it was like such a nice, comfortable experience that I got just like really into it. It was a lot of fun to shoot and like explore these different themes. And if people wanted to throw money at that, why not?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Why not?
And yeah, I mean, and also like in my experience, at least, my patrons are like the nicest people alive. They're not making like creepy comments or remarks or anything like that. They're all
Yeah.
just really genuine and sweet. They're like, "Hey, I hope you're doing well." I'm like, "Yeah, me too. I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much."
So wholesome.
Nice.
Yeah, like I was honestly really surprised with like getting into like the 18 plus side of content with like how nice people are and how supportive they
That's
are.
great.
Yeah, that's really good
That's
because
really
that's
good.
always the
That's-
fear, right? Is the
Yeah.
So
creeps.
Like I've dealt with some creeps, but
Mhm.
the number of people who are just nice like massively outnumbers them.
Yeah,
that's great.
we love to see the overwhelming support.
Yes.
Love to see it.
But yeah, I try to shoot like at least 3 photo sets a month and everything.
Mhm.
It really
Wow.
does depend what kind of content you're offering because I know I follow IU Designs on Patreon, and she does like first looks, previews, like a like monthly newsletter for her patrons, and then they get like early access to the auctions for the years or the sales for the years.
That's
Nice.
nice. Yeah.
I know you kind of talked about it before, and we were going to ask you what made you decide to take the leap. But to piggyback on that one, what were you primarily focusing on before Patreon? And like, how much time does it kind of balance into now that you do it so much?
So when I first started with Patreon, I was really just working in fast food and going to school and not really doing anything else.
Mhm.
Like I was like on the edge of cosplay. Like I like started getting into it. I had started doing maid cafes out in LA, and I was really enjoying that. And Patreon just kind of followed with that. And then honestly, it doesn't take up a terrible amount of time for me. Like I try to put a lot of work into it with, designing the tiers, making the content, getting the physical rewards out in a timely manner. But it's honestly just become like a really fun hobby for me that I enjoy doing. And like I like making the content. I like the response that I get from it, and I don't know, I like making other people happy. And I
That's
get a lot of
perfect.
messages like, "Hey, I love what you did. Oh God, thank you. I'm trying." Especially now that I'm not in LA where I can like shoot with photographers on a regular basis. It's all, like self-shot content. So I am really, really, really trying.
Yeah, really putting in that work.
Like
It's
I
a
just
lot.
got a nice umbrella light because the lighting in my apartment is just so bad.
Uh-huh.
The struggle.
Yeah, the struggle. All right. And then our last question about that was, what's the importance of having all the different tiers on Patreon, and how do you set it up?
So with my tiers, they offer like different amounts of content and different kinds of content. So as I mentioned, like the lower tiers are safe for work. They're just, if you want to show support, see like some work in progresses for whatever cosplays I'm working on. If you want to like hop on the Discord and like contribute ideas for like the game nights or get like first dibs for the game nights. because that's one thing I offer with one of the lower tiers is they get first dibs for the play slots on like Jackbox streams, which I think is a lot of fun because it only allows up to 8 people in a game.
Right.
Hmm.
And then as it gets higher, it offers the adult content, but in varying amounts. So at $20, you'll get access to it, but only 4 pictures a month. But if you go up a few tiers, then you get to see full photo sets. You get like different physical rewards. And the tiers or the rewards aren't necessary for the tiers. You can
Mhm.
pledge without joining any given tier, but most people do prefer to sign up to the certain tiers and like have
Right.
like designated rewards for themselves.
Mhm.
Hmm. Nice. Awesome.
So you'd say most of the content on there is, cosplay and stuff that goes along with that.
Yeah. Pretty much all of my boudoir content too is cosplay related.
Nice.
There's
Uh,
been like a couple of non-cosplay sets, but I really do mostly just do cosplay
Mhm.
related.
Hmm. Awesome.
And I make
What?
sure that any character is over 18. I
Oh, for
don't
sure.
lewd the my hero characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Mm.
lewd a child.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, so what gets you excited about cosplay? Can you describe kind of your cosplay journey a little bit? So it seems to be a big part of your life.
So when I was like actually like back in like middle school and high school, I wasn't even allowed to watch anime. My
What?
mom had very strict ideas of what was and wasn't okay for kids to watch.
Huh.
I couldn't
Mhm.
even watch Cartoon Network,
Really?
which looking back at it now, yeah, she was right about that. A lot of their stuff is a little more than I should have been watching at the time. But as I got older and like anime became like more available on Netflix and stuff, she started to kind of like slowly let me watch it. Initially,
Mhm.
it was only if I was in her room with the door closed doing laundry, and then I could watch some Oran Host Club.
I love that. Love
The
Warren
first,
Host
Wow,
Club.
the
sneaking
first time I
around.
ever tried to watch anime was Fruits Basket, and she heard Kyo call somebody the B word, and it was over for me.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh, that quick, huh?
But then, like, as I got older, she sort of loosened up, let me start watching more anime. And then my first cosplay was actually a really poorly done gender bend of Honey from Oran Host Club.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
I literally took the money that I had earned doing yard work for my grandpa and took it to my dad. I was, can you buy me this Oran jacket on eBay, please? Please?
Please.
And I went to school in cosplay and everything.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
yes.
But I didn't like super get into it until after I graduated high school. Then my best friend Diana and I went to my first ever convention, which was Anime Expo 2017.
Ooh.
And that is where I just plummeted into cosplay.
Nice.
It was my
Face
first con,
first.
and I did a different cosplay every day. And then
Every day.
yeah, every day,
Dang,
different
day.
cosplay. That
So
was some
ambitious.
commitment. Especially because like we tried to get there when the doors opened, and we weren't staying at a hotel or anything, so we had to take the
Oh.
train to get there.
Oh
Wow.
my god. Yeah, I feel that. I'm in Chicago, so I've taken trains to cons here and there. It's a lot. It's a lot. You gotta get up so early.
Broke and freshly out of high school, so
Yeah.
we did Uber, but only so much.
Mhm.
So we would walk an hour to the closest train station to take the train to
Ooh.
walk to the con.
Were you in
Boy.
cosplay walking
In
an hour?
cosplay.
Yes, I was
Oh,
on the train
God.
in full cosplay.
Yeah, walking down the street for an hour.
That year I did Yoshino from Day Day Live, Taiga from Toradora, Powery from Your Lie in April, and God, I did like a human version or like fairy version of Navi from The Legend of Zelda. My friend was Link, and it was really cute.
That is so
Nice.
cute. I love
I
that.
actually had my arm covered in like different symbols from the game that my friend had done with a blue eyeliner on the train there.
Nice.
It was
Dang.
yes, it was great. And then after that, it was quiet for a bit until that fall when my friends and I were looking for something to do for Halloween, and I found a Facebook event that was a Halloween maid cafe party. I was like, oh, what's this? It's initially we were all just planning to go, and then one day I saw that they were accepting applications. Like, do I dare? And I was actually at work when I saw this. I was working at Jack in the Box at the time. And so during my little 10-minute break, I put in an application. And on the pictures where they asked to see you in a maid uniform, I just inserted pictures of me from AX and my regular cosplays with text over them that said, "My maid outfit is in the mail. It is coming. It will be here soon."
I promise.
And then I messaged the page after I applied. I was like, "Hey, so I'm 18 and I'm 4'8", and people think I'm a 12-year-old most of the time. I can be your legal lolly maid." And then I got
It can be me.
It's like, I know my appeal. I know that I am very short and very round-faced, and that is my whole aesthetic. So cosplaying cutesy characters is very much in my interest for cosplays to come out right.
Nice. Awesome. What's your favorite cosplay, and what are your favorite series to cosplay from?
So, as of recently, I cosplayed Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle for the first time.
I saw that. It was so good.
And that is my favorite movie. It's one of my favorite books. And I'm so happy with how that cosplay looked on me. I love it so much. So, even though I haven't even gotten around to hemming that cosplay, it is by far my favorite.
Nice.
Because that cosplay is definitely too long on me.
You can't tell in the pictures. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
That is the benefit of currently only being able to self-shoot at home, is I don't have to hem things because you can't see below my waist.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
Silver lining. So you've recently started to collect merch or, collectibles maybe?
A lot.
Like, I've been getting, posters and keychains and pop Funkos for a little while.
Mhm.
But I recently took a deep dive into figurines because I was shown very cheap eBay auctions for figures. Little to no self-control.
What drives you to collect everything? What do you love about it?
I mean, with the figures I got recently, it was like, I want cute shit. Give me things that are cute to stare at. But before that, it was like, I really love the series and I want a piece of it. Like my all-time favorite collectibles that I have is actually these two figurines that are staring at me. It's
Yes.
little handmade figures of Star and Marco from Star versus the Forces of Evil from I think it's the Mystery Shack, and they were a Valentine's Day gift from my boyfriend. Who we always say that Star and Marco are literally us. So
Cute.
Oh.
that's my favorite non-anime cartoon series ever. I've even gotten to meet the creator of the show and one of the voice actors.
Oh wow.
So I was like,
Nice.
How did that come about?
So the first time was because the series was ending, they were having an event at Nucleus Gallery in Alhambra, which was the Blood Moon Ball. And it was this whole event at this art gallery with the creator of the show and some of the staff from the show. They had a cosplay contest and everything. I actually missed my opening to get tickets for that event. But I happened to live right down the street from it.
Nice.
So I was like, oh yeah, this is happening today. Why don't I just, get into cosplay and go by there and see what happens? Maybe maybe they'll have some extra tickets at the door or something. So I get there and I get out of the car because I took an Uber, and the guy checking tickets at the door immediately goes, "Hey, do you have your ticket?" I go, "God, I wish," and I kept walking.
And then they just let it go?
I started walking down the street to go to Goodwill because I needed to get stuff for a cosplay. And then as I was getting closer, I realized, wait, didn't Goodwill close 5 minutes ago?
Oh no.
Damn it. And so I turn around and I walk back and I muster up my courage and I just go, "Hey, I don't suppose you guys are selling any tickets at the door, are you?" "No, we're not. But some people do have extra tickets. We just used the last of those to get some other people in. But if you hang around, there's a chance that I could let you in. Maybe."
Ooh.
And I was just like, oh, God, oh, please. So I go to sit at the planter and I'm just hanging out. And this older woman comes over and starts talking to me and like asks to take a picture of my costume and tells me how cute it is and asks if I'm going into the party. And I explained that like I missed the opportunity to get tickets because they sold out so quickly. She goes, you know what? I really think you should be able to go into that party. Let me see what I can do about it.
What?
And so she walks in, and then a few minutes later, the guy at the door comes over and tells me I can come in. And that woman introduces me to two of the storyboard artists, who it turns out she's the mother of one of them,
That's crazy.
out into this party.
That's an amazing story.
It was insane. So I was like
That's, like,
having the
perfect.
time of my life. I got to meet like the creator of the show and everything. And yeah, it was just like a really nice time. And then later that month, I actually did have tickets for a panel that they were hosting at Toysville Toy Store in Alhambra with the creator of the show and the voice actor for Marco. So then I got to see the creator again, and I got to meet the voice actor, and I actually have my Polaroid with him on my phone case.
Oh, that's awesome.
Adorable. That's like
That's-
something that would happen in a movie.
Yeah, that's like not real. That's too perfect.
I love that.
It was a really great time for me.
Mm-hmm. It's because you just went. You just wanted to go that bad.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
like, maybe if I hang out long enough, something good will happen.
You manifested it
Yeah,
into
you did
the
it.
universe.
That's great. All right. So you're a really cheerful, caring, happy person. We know that. So
Yes.
do you have life advice for the viewers or any advice in general?
I think an important thing is not to be afraid to ask for help if you feel like you need it. Whether that's, you need help figuring out how to do this cosplay, or you're struggling with your mental health, or with something that happened to you, you should always be willing to ask for help and turn to somebody if you feel like you need to.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
I stuff happened in my life where I was like, what the hell?
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
the heck do I do? But I ask people and I talk to people. And yeah, just keep trooping on when things get rough.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's
Perfect.
definitely important to ask for help, even though it's one of the hardest things to do sometimes.
Yeah. And like
Mhm.
a lot of people will feel like, oh, but if I ask for help, I'm being annoying, I'm being needy. No, it's okay to ask for help and show people that you're struggling.
Mhm.
Like if they're really your friends, they'll be there for you and they'll help you any way that they can.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like they may not always be able to be like, oh, you're having financial problems, here's some money, but they can talk to you about it and let you vent about it and get it off of your chest rather than struggling with it in silence.
Mhm.
Yeah. It can get real heavy real quick if you
Yeah.
just kind of keep it all inside.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Perfect.
It's good. So you also are in school. How do you balance, school and all of these awesome passions that you have? I'm sure it's kind of difficult. It's a
So,
lot.
in all honesty, school has never been like a huge priority for me since graduating.
Mhm.
I started going to a community college, but I was also working, and I had a tendency to put whatever hours they put on the schedule over whatever homework or classes I was supposed to be taking care of at the
Mhm.
time. And then once I moved out of my parents' place and I was fully supporting myself, I really did not care about school at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I initially tried to do both, but it became clear to me pretty fast that money was my priority, and if I could get that by just working more hours, I would take it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And like, so now I moved out. I'm in Missouri of all places with my boyfriend,
Mhm.
and I've got a lot more time on my hands, so I'm just kind of taking classes because I can.
Mhm.
And I'm just trying to balance that with everything else. And of course it's hard, but I learn my limits and I know when not to push myself.
Yeah, that's really important. So
Yeah.
you're kind of making your own schedule at this point. That's
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah, there's no set guideline to this, you know.
No.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just kind of taking classes because it's fun and I want to learn things. And I'm just trying not to stress myself over it too much because that was an issue before too, was
Mhm.
that I was letting my work and school balance and just school in general stress me out way too much.
Yeah. It's real easy to spiral.
Yeah.
I get
Rushing
Yes, it
through it
is.
doesn't help anything.
that. For example, I was in college and also living on my own and also working. Uh, it's a lot. It can be a lot. And
Yeah.
then even after I graduated, and then those student loan debt payments hit. I was just like, you know what? I can't do anything else. I need to pick up as many hours as I can. So it's a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. How long had you been working at maid cafes, and what do you love about it?
So, as I mentioned, my first experience with a maid cafe was in 2017 for Halloween.
Yes.
And I just applied because, I thought it would be something interesting to do. And something I've learned is I like attention.
That's
That's
good.
just great.
Putting it into this capacity where I was not only a performer, but I was serving people and talking to all these new and interesting people made it just a lot of fun for me. The maid cafe that I was with back in LA originally was Cloud9 Cute Maid Cafe. So, in addition to maid themed events, we also did events themed to different series or different video games. We even had like idol themed maid cafe where we were all dressed as different idol characters, and I was Katori from Love Live.
Ooh.
And we did a couple of different dances, including Start Dash, and it
Oh.
was a lot of fun.
I love that. Even I
And
know what that
then-
song is.
Yeah.
The owner of the cafe started a sister cafe, which is Kiss Pink, which is more on the adult side, if you catch my drift. If you saw Anthony Padilla's documentary about maid cafes, that was Kiss Pink.
Oh.
And so that was like more of like a burlesque maid cafe experience, although I definitely still stayed on more the cutesy side of things because
Mhm.
I can't do that. I can't be the ada to save my life. So like we'd have, talent performances where the maids would do like demonstrations. One maid would do like deadlifts where she would get guests from the audience and deadlift them. We'd have
That's
maids put
amazing.
on like burlesque dance performances or sing, and I was over here like, I can do the Chica dance.
Hey.
And it was just like a fun, like almost monthly thing to do and meet all these interesting people and be both a server and a performer at the same time, which I thought was a really cool experience. And then when I moved to Missouri, I found that like I was missing that kind of thing. I loved, the whole maid cafe experience. But I wanted to do one that was a little closer to like the traditional maid cafe experience. Because if you've seen my old cafes, they're not like super traditional in that sense. It is very much adapted to the LA convention party scene, which is great, and I love that. But I did want to try the more traditional route with it.
Mhm.
So one day I'm in this Discord server for cosplayers in St. Louis, and two of the girls are talking about, oh, I would love to be in a maid cafe. That seems like such a cool experience. I was like, I got you. And like immediately started a maid cafe right then.
I love that.
And it's a fun, cute thing to do. We're all volunteers just doing this for the fun of it. And the few funds that we do get from saying like selling the care packages that we do or doing like our online tea parties and stuff will later go to renting venues and buying like merchandise and like getting a banner for the cafe and stuff. And it's just like a fun little thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What was it like your first shift at the maid cafe, if you can remember? What
I
was that
remember
like?
it all too well. So, as I mentioned, my first ever event was a Halloween party. So everybody was in costume. Ahead of time, we had a photo shoot for all of the new maids to meet some of the girls and like take pictures together. And I even ended up like making a video after the fact, like of like background footage from the shoot and all. And then the first event, I was actually dead tired because I had not really managed to sleep more than an hour the night previously.
Oh no.
And then I spent like all day in Little Tokyo handing out flyers to promote the event because I work hard.
Yeah.
So I was hyped up on caffeine like nobody's business. I was chugging caramel macchiatos and energy drinks.
Mhm.
And so the event starts, and people are lined up around the block to get in.
Oh.
my god.
In all these costumes and cosplays. And it was actually held around the same time as LA Comic Con. So people were coming from that too. And it was a lot of people. And so they're all coming in. And me being my bubbly customer service self, I'm just bouncing around. Hi, nice to meet you. How can I help you? Hi, nice to meet you. How are you doing? Even though I'm running on literally an hour of sleep and nothing but caffeine.
Mhm.
So I'm meeting all of these people, and that cafe did serve, like alcoholic beverages. So I would get their orders, I would run to the bar, wait with all the other maids because there's like 2 bartenders to handle all of this. Come back, find people who are milling around the party in this massive crowd, like trying so hard to remember, what do these people look like?
Mhm.
Right.
Who? Huh? And like also making sure to check for their wristbands and everything to make sure that they are over 21. And so like we're just going back and forth with all of the serving and talking to all the guests. And then we had games and we had a raffle. And we had like a special guest star who was a cosplayer who came and talked about like what she does and actually announced the winners of the raffle. And then as that maid cafe runs, we had a date auction.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
This is on your first shift.
Yeah. So the way that the date auction works with those cafes is they put you up for bidding. They start at like $25. And whoever wins that auction will give that money to the maid cafe to go towards running future events. And they get to have like a pretend date with you for an hour for the remainder of the event. And so you just sit with that person and talk to them for an hour. And you meet some really interesting people that way. And it's honestly like a lot of fun. I think
Nice.
the highest I've ever gone in a date auction was like $600 something.
That's a lot of money.
My favorite though is when I went for $420 at HentaiCon.
Perfect.
That's arguably better.
Yeah, that's way better.
Just for the memes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a volunteer thing, but we got tips.
Right.
And because I was constantly running around talking to and serving everyone, I made some really good tips.
Nice.
You love to see it.
Mhm.
Like I had before then primarily only worked service jobs. I worked, nothing but fast food and retail. So pleasing the customer was ingrained in me in that point.
Mhm.
I get that. I was a bartender for a while, and but I was like a grumpy bartender, so it might be a little opposite in that way.
I just very automatically, when I started working, had that perky customer service.
Mhm.
And when I worked at Jack in the Box, the manager, when I first started, actually was like, "Hey, let me throw you in the drive-thru. I want to see what happens."
I love that. I bet they said it just like that too.
Okay. And I go and I get in the drive-thru. I put the headset on, and immediately it dings, and there's a car. And so I just, "Thank you for choosing Jack in the Box. How are you doing today?" "I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. What can I get started for you? Would you like that in a small, medium, or large? With regular fries or curly?" "All right, your total is $5.27. I'll see you at the window." And I just hear the manager over the intercom go, "Oh my God, they're going to love her." And it happened a couple of times where people thought I was like an automated answering
Like a
machine.
robot.
You're like, I'm a
I
robot.
give them the, "Hi, how are you doing today?" They go, "I'm ready to order." "Okay, what can I get started for you?" "No, I'm ready to order." "Yeah, what can I get for you?"
Here.
Are you real? Are you alive?" "Yes, I'm alive."
That's great.
It was something else.
Amazing.
Mhm.
So, about the maid cafe you're in now, Sakura Bunny Maid Café, that's starting this week. Is that your first event this week?
Yeah, so this Sunday will be our first digital events. We are operating online only right now for the pandemic. We're being very careful about our COVID safety. There's no meeting up for photo shoots or dance rehearsals or anything like that right now. We are very careful.
For sure.
Mhm.
And so this Sunday will be our first 2 digital tea times and a game night. And how that works is, so the 2 tea times are each an hour and a half. and anybody who gets the ticket will get an invitation to join our Discord server, and they will be put into a video call with all of the maids that are available for that day, and you know just have a nice like afternoon tea time. If you got the care package, you've got tea and like a treat to enjoy, and just have a nice time and talk to everybody, because like that's a lot of the experience with maid cafes, is getting to talk to these people that you wouldn't normally talk to.
Mhm.
And then that evening, we'll be having a game night, which will be like a game that is streamed in that same Discord server, and the guests can all join and compete with the maids and have that like conversation. And it's just going to be really nice, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're kind of working at the case because it is our first digital event, and that's something different for me to be hosting.
Mhm.
But the maids have been doing just a great job, like talking about the Maid Cafe on their social media, getting these amazing like ears and styling like how they want their maid sonas to look and everything.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And they're honestly like the sweetest girls that I've ever met.
Oh.
Like they're all just genuinely so excited to be a part of something like this. And the guests are so excited to be a part of something like this. And it brings something new to Missouri, which is where I'm currently living, that they
Mhm.
don't really have right now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Definitely
Nice.
something different down there, I'm sure.
And
Yes.
it's giving weebs their anime events without putting them in the risk of getting COVID,
Right.
like certain conventions in Florida.
Florida.
There's conventions going on, and I'm just looking at them like, you guys see that we're still in a pandemic, right?
We're not just in a
Right.
pandemic. We're at the peak of the
Yeah,
pandemic.
like one of the cons in Florida, someone working in the artist alley had COVID.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's
Mhm.
just we want you to be alive to go to conventions in the future. Don't go now.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
get that digital events and digital conventions aren't it for everybody, and we miss these events greatly, but you have to consider, is going to an anime event worth somebody dying?
Yeah.
Right. Dangerous.
And it's
Exactly.
really not. Like, I have friends who are even more at risk, who are immunocompromised.
Mhm.
My great grandfather just passed away due to COVID,
Oh,
and
I'm
I
sorry.
still see people going to live events. And like, I literally just got my first shot for the COVID vaccine,
Nice.
and I get my next one in a few weeks. There's a convention going on around here in April. I would not go to that if you paid me,
Mhm.
because we're in a pandemic.
Mhm.
Now is not the time.
Yeah, it's ultimately selfish, you know?
Like,
Yeah.
yes, I miss going to events. Yes, I miss hanging out with those people. But am I going to put people's lives at risk? No, I am not.
Absolutely not. No.
Mhm. Exactly. We agree,
But
don't worry.
we have people like you who are hosting these awesome online events so that we can all share in our hobby together and have a good time and, reminisce about conventions and all that, but still, get to enjoy each other's company in a safe way. And I think that's really
Mhm.
great.
Like, you can bet that when it's safe to do live events, Sakura Bunny will be doing live events
Mhm.
in probably St. Louis and Columbia.
Mhm.
But until it is good and properly safe for everyone, I don't think any live events should be going on.
For sure.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So can you tell everyone how exactly to sign up, get involved, and then if you want, show some of the merch you have, because I know you have a lot of stuff going on in the care packages too.
Hold on, I think I've got the box of mugs in here still.
Mhm.
Ooh, mugs. Take your time.
Yeah. I'm excited for my care package. I'm excited to do the event. I'll be at work. It's going to be exciting explaining what I'm
A
doing.
little lunch break.
No. I'm just going to be working. I'm just going to be sitting there on the work laptop on Discord.
I love that for you, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as I unbox this, that tangled. Sorry, my headphones cord got tangled around my ankle. I don't know.
Oh no! Technology.
There we go. Okay. So, as far as Bunny goes, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. You just look up Sakura Bunny Maid Café. Our various socials should pop up.
Mhm.
As far as applications go, our applications will always remain open, but we are not currently seeking more maids. We have like 20 girls right now, and that's
That's a lot.
amazing for such a small group hosting online only events.
For sure.
When the situation arises that we do need more maids, we will go into the pool of applications that we have and consider those first before seeking more applicants. We also have butler applications open, but we will not be taking in butlers until we start our live event. Because there's only so many people you can have in a Discord video call, and their roles fit a little differently than maids do.
Makes sense.
So we're planning lots of fun stuff with that. If you go to our website, which is Sakura-Bunny-Square, or Sakura Bunny Maid Café, all dashes between .square.site, that is where you can find all of the maid introductions, the applications, and event tickets and merchandise. I tried to organize everything into one place. One of the things that we do have available right now is a cute little Sakura Bunny Maid Cafe mug.
It's adorable.
It has our little logo on it, and it's so freaking cute. And I definitely kept one for myself.
As you should.
And then the full care package that you can get for these tea times that we have is a tin of loose leaf tea, which each one is like themed to a different dairy type. So currently we have the Yandere, which is a cherry rose sencha green tea, the Sundari tea, which is prickly pear, and then Dairy, which is like a vanilla black tea.
Ooh.
And these little tea tins have like a sticker with their logo on top of it and like 10 servings of the tea inside. You get a little tea strainer / stir that's like really cute. It's heart-shaped. I love it so much. You get stickers printed by our lovely maid Mouse, a print of the maid of your choice. I will like personally reach out to you when you buy a box and ask, hey, what maid do you want? And homemade treats from the maids. In the boxes that we just sent out, there is some little sugar cookies shaped to look like our mascot, Saki, the Sakura Bunny.
I love that. I didn't know there were like home baked goods in the box. That is such a nice touch.
The one that I sent Cooper, because I actually sent it out a little bit early in hopes that it would make it in time for
It almost made it.
Yeah, it comes tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yours has a little pack of the pink bunny-shaped Peeps and a pecan pie bar that I made because the cookies that Maidberry made had not arrived yet.
So exciting. I'm excited. I got the Sundere one, by the way.
I do way too much baking, so it works out for me.
Nice.
It's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick aside. I feel like sometimes I'm tsundere, and the fact that it's a prickly pear tea, I feel called out because I love prickly pear tea.
No, it just makes
you
sense.
know?
That was perfect. It's prickly pear, so like they have like a sort of a prickly personality, but when you taste the tea itself, it's sweet.
Exactly.
So it's like a great metaphor for
Just
the
like
tsundere.
Neeners.
Oh man, I feel seen.
Yeah, we're calling you out.
So, what are your future plans for the cafe, and how can we? Well, I guess you already answered the support, but I know you can't do live events, but you know, down the
So
line.
just join us for our digital events. Check out the merchandise that we do have available, and just like follow our socials and show love to all of the maids. I'm going to be running this cafe for as long as I'm in Missouri, but in a few years, I will likely be moving out of the state again. So at that point, I will hopefully leave the cafe in the very capable hands of the maids and managers that I have. And I honestly think they're going to do a great job with it when that time does come. And I hope I can have them well prepared enough to run the show on their own. Because back in LA, I became a manager for those maid cafes and was doing that for like 3 years. So I kind of got to see the behind the scenes and how to run everything. And I took that experience and now I'm kind of giving it to them.
Perfect.
That's so great.
I mean, you
Just
clearly
passing the
love it.
torch. Yeah.
Yeah, there's kind of an ongoing joke that I will just leave a trail of maid cafes wherever I go.
Leave your mark everywhere.
Yeah.
That will be my legacy, is just a bunch of anime maid cafes all over the
All
country.
over the world. The world.
Which, speaking of maid cafes, also check out my friends in SoCal run Dreamland Maid Cafe, which is going to be more convention-based and is going to be very much traditional towards the Akihabara experience because they're very dedicated to that.
Nice.
Love
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so we're reaching the end now. So Vaughn, do you have any? What are your future plans in general? And
For
then
you.
yeah, for you, and what are your closing thoughts for everyone?
Future plans. Ah, gosh.
Yeah, exactly. Scary.
Honestly, I'm gonna keep cosplaying for sure. Like, I didn't expect to get so deep into cosplay and anime when I first started those hobbies, but it has become such a major part of my life. And I'm gonna keep, playing video games and streaming and trying to make fun content for everybody. I
Mhm.
probably won't keep Patreon running forever because I am gonna be a mom someday.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with making boudoir content as a mother, but it is not personally for me.
Mhm.
To each their own.
You do you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, I'm going to make sure my kids know a lot more about internet safety than I did.
Yeah,
Fair
it's
enough.
very important.
Yeah, I just want to keep growing these maid cafes and these experiences and hopefully go to conventions again someday because I do miss that. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed that it's possible again one
It'll
day.
start again one day. One day we'll do it.
yeah, one day.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, check out my socials. That's
Yeah, let
Unused
me.
Notebook pretty much
I'm
everywhere
popping
you
it
go.
up. It's on the screen. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, if you could tell everyone the socials for that and for the cafe and
Yeah,
all
so
that.
for the Maid Cafe, Instagram is at Sakura Bunny Maid Cafe. Twitter is at Sakura Bunny Maid. TikTok is at Sakura Bunny Cafe. They're all different. I'm sorry.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, you know.
Facebook, if you just look up Sakura Bunny Maid Cafe, our page should come up. As far as my socials go, I have Twitch, which is twitch.tv/SayuriUnused. Instagram and TikTok are both unused.notebook. And Twitter is Unused Notebook, just straight across. And
Mhm.
somebody is asking, are these teas sold at most average tea stores?
Oh, they're going
Yes,
on.
I would say so. We get them from a company that does wholesale loose leaf teas based in Arizona.
Mhm.
Oh.
Nice.
Very nice.
Awesome. Well, everyone definitely follow Bun, and also
Yes.
definitely, if you want, sign up for the events. It's gonna
Yes.
be fun.
Come join us for tea and video games this weekend. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait for you guys to meet all of the amazing girls that are in this Maid Cafe because
Mhm.
they really are just absolute angels.
Awesome.
Angels. I know I learned a lot. So thank you so much for chatting with us. It's been a cozy good time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was a lot of fun coming on.
Yep.
Yay.
Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for following. Thanks
Yes.
for the gift sub, Em. Thanks for all of that.
Yeah.
So.
We appreciate you all. We appreciate you, Bun.
Mhm.
Come watch Stardew Valley stream tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely do that tomorrow.
Stardew tomorrow.
Watch that. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.